Hello my dear students, today we are going to see about medium frequency current IFT, Interferential Therapy machine in electrotherapy 1 and 2 practicals. Yes, so just before we start out, I would like to show you the machine which is of Technomat Electronics Vectrodyne 100. Yes, so basically in this company there are two sets of machines which comes. One is Vectrodyne and another one is Vectrostim. Vectrodyne, it has just IFT in it, and Vectrostim has a Russian current component in it. So before we move on, please see, this is your main power plug. Yes, it is plugged into this main supply, AC supply, and then it goes into your machine supply. And this the fuse, the machine fuse is available at this side. So you can see one fuse over this. Okay, I'm putting it down. Then this is on and off switch, machine on and off switch. So let us switch on the machine main power supply. I will switch it on, and then I'll be switching on the machine. Okay, so in this, if you can see, we have IFT, user and help. Okay, so here we have two buttons. This is to select what I want. Yes, so this is kind of a joystick. Yes, whereas this is an intensity joystick. As I mentioned earlier, Vectrodyne and Vectrostim has Russian current. So here you will see IFT and Russian currents in it. So here currently we are going to see about IFT only. So basically the equipment functioning is very simple. You have 2 kilohertz and 4 kilohertz mentioning it over here. 2 kilohertz means the base frequency will be of 2000 hertz. 4 kilohertz means the base frequency will be of 4000 hertz, and the beat frequency will be varied up accordingly. Here you can see channel 1 and channel 2. Yes, so basically if I unpin this, you can see two connectors of channel 1 and channel 2. Channel 1 is of black color and channel 2 is of red color. I would like to notify over here in a very strong affirmative way that the color codes in the IFT machine does not matter. They does not state that it is a positive or it is negative. Yes, they are just for our physical identification. Yes, so I can always put this into red colors, and I can always put like this into the black colors irrespectively, but it is just for our easily identification of two channels. Okay, so that is why it is color coded as black and red. Certain equipments, another companies, manufacturers, they can have channel 1 in red and they can have channel 2 as black, vice versa. So now if I want to select this, what I need to do is I need to press this valid key. So once I have pressed this valid key, I'll be asked program numbers. Yes, so the machine itself has different kinds of program numbers fixed from program number 1, 2, 3, etc. based on the preset setups. So for example, if I am selecting program number 1, I am being asked what is the base frequency which I need to set. The base frequency is basically I am going to have the difference between the carrier frequency and the base frequency. So if I select 90 hertz, I beg your pardon, and spectrum of 50 hertz. So yes, treatment of 10. So you can see intensity was not at 0. So here it is mentioned 2 electrodes. 2 electrode means always channel 1 will be active. Always channel 1 will be active. Channel 1, what is the intensity in milliampere? It will be shown. Base 90 and spectrum 50. So here you can see the carrier frequency is of 4 kilohertz or 4000 hertz, and base will be 4090 hertz. So 4000 kilohertz and 4090 hertz. So the static frequency, static beat frequency will be of 90 hertz, 90, and spectrum of 50, which will be varying from 91 hertz till 140 hertz. So here you can see the balance between the equipment. So now previously we had seen about program number 1, which was for channel 1 or 2 electrodes. Yes, please make sure that in most of the manufacturers, two electrode is always in channel 1. Rarely there is an exception that channel 2 works as a two-pole method. So again I will show you how does the 4-pole work. So again, if you select program number, I am now selecting program number 2. If I want to select program number 2, I am just supposed to change this. Yes, program number 2. Now I'll put a valid key. Again I am asked base frequency 90, so I am putting it. I can, if I want to change, I can always change it like 100. I am changing it to 100 with this key. Spectrum I am putting it 0. Yes, so 0. Treatment time 10 minutes. That's it. So here you can see 4 electrodes. Yes, base is 100, spectrum is 0. So this is like constant beat frequency of 100 hertz, whereas the carrier frequency is of 4 kilohertz, 4000 hertz. Okay, and treatment time is 10 minutes. Okay, so if I want to increase the intensity, you can see, you will be seeing the changes in channel 1 and channel 2. So you can see 53 milliamperes, okay, which is changing in channel 2. I've reduced the frequency, intensity. As I have not connected to the patient, yes, so there is no, basically the machine is not showing the accuracy of channel 1 and channel 2. So we shall see it once I connect it to the patient also. So this means 4 electrodes, triangular waveform. Triangular waveforms are generally used in which conditions? It is used in acute conditions, base of 100 and spectrum is of 0. Yes, so that's the machine functioning as per different manufacturers. So if I want to reset, I'll use this reset key. If I want to go back, I have back key. If I want to change the balance, I'm supposed to change the press this balance key. Yes, so as far as different manufacturers are considered, yes, so the function remains almost same. Yes, the program numbers, the patterns, that may vary from manufacturer to manufacturer. Yes, but the functioning of the machine and the principle remains equally same. So I would like to mention it again once. Please don't get confused with the color codings, channel 1 and channel 2. You should always remember that in IFT you have 2 channels considering channel 1 and channel 2. So in between you have a beat frequency which is of low frequency. Yes, so 2 medium frequency intersecting with each other and coming between into a center, which is your beat frequency. Beat frequencies are different types, constant beat frequency and variable beat frequency. Constant beat frequency means the continuous, which we had seen 100 hertz, and if I want to add the spectrum, I will be adding the spectrum and it would vary apart from the beat frequency. So why do we generally need 2 medium frequency currents to intersect in between and produce a low frequency current? It is basically based on the principles of superimposition theory. Superimposition theory, wave 1 and wave 2 into the same direction. The crest meets crest, the trough meets trough, that is known as constructive interference. The crest meets trough and the trough meets crest, it is known as destructive interference. So based on these principles, the IFT is working. So I would request all my students to go through all the equipments one by one, because they vary from each other but the principle remains same. Now we shall see different kind of placements on the model. Yes. Okay. So here I have placed the 4 electrodes method. Yes. So as I said, 4 electrode methods. The channel 1 would be in diagonal, channel 2 would be again in diagonal, crossing it, and the center would give you the beat frequency. So you can see that these two, channel 1, so this is nothing but channel 1, okay, and the 2 reds are channel 2. Yes, so we will be getting the beat frequency exactly in the center. So this is the case for low back pain. So now we already know that IFT can be given by 2-pole method, 4-pole method. 4-pole method has 4-pole constant, 4-pole 45 degrees and 4-pole 90 degrees. Okay, so in constant, a smaller area where the pain has, like smaller areas, like the patient is not able to clear cut say that the where does the pain has, but it has a specific location. Yes, so we would generally have it over low back regions or the upper trapezius regions pain. Yes, and the pain probably radiating to the buttocks. 4 electrodes 45 are the 4 electrodes, yes, where the pain is radiating towards a smaller regions, like from originating from low back to the left buttocks or right buttocks, or to the left or right thigh. And 4-pole 90 degrees, 4-pole 90 degrees is generally over the left origin over the low back region and radiating towards the whole left upper lower extremity or the right lower extremity. Yes, it can be for cervical spine also, 2 electrodes over the cervical regions and radiating towards the right upper extremity or the left upper extremity. But the fundamentals for 4-pole electrode should always be that 2 channels should always cross each other. This is the placement which I am trying to show it over here. Whereas 2-pole methods are basically a specified location of pain, like probably medial and lateral regions of pain, most arthritis pain, or probably medial and lateral knee ligament injuries, medial and lateral elbow pains, or specifically the shoulder pain over the anterior aspect, periarthritis shoulder. So 2-pole methods. The question comes, when the low frequency, like when we always say that medium frequency interact and always form a beat frequency into the center, how does the 2-pole method works, or 2-pole IFT works? 2-pole IFT works, the beat frequency is directly given by the machine. The beat frequency is directly given by the machine. So that is why the 2-pole method, how is it works. So I would like to show it over here once again, that this, you need to be 2 channels, channel 1 and channel 2 needs to be intersected with each other. The electrode should have spare enough of contact with the body. The advanced machines, if you don't have proper contacts with the skin, they would not work it on. So that is why you need to mention, you need proper contact with the skin, you need to use sufficient enough of gel. So I will show you how does, now I'll use the program number 8 over this. So how does this program number 8 works on? So I am again selecting program number 8. Yes. So I will be keeping base frequency of 100 Hertz, spectrum frequency of 50 Hertz. So this means the beat frequency will be of 100 Hertz constant, and after that from 101 Hertz to 50 Hertz it would be varying. Spectrum will be added. Okay. So treatment time I am using 10. So please see, 4 electrode 90 degrees has come. Yes, 4 electrode 90 degrees are generally used in the pain which has a radiating. Just to show you all that these are the different kinds of program numbers which we have in this machine. So now we will be selecting, I have started it, so you can see I will be increasing the intensity. Yes. So in the previous segment, as there was no sufficient contact with the skin, so you were just seeing the channel 2 fluctuating. Now you can see channel 1 and channel 2 both fluctuating in 4 electrodes 90 degrees methods. So 4 electrode 90 degrees is generally a vector method where the frequency will be changing from the base in covering the whole groove leaf pattern. So this is how it works on. You can see the balance between the 2 channels. It is working. How does it works on? Yes, and if I want to increase the intensity, I can increase the intensity through this way. Yes. Okay, so in the next segment I will be just showing you the placements. How does the four electrodes placements, how does the four electrodes 45 degrees, four electrodes 90 degrees over the low back regions and radiating pains, and ACL or knee injuries placements, ankle placements, and cervical spine placements. So I'll be showing you now how does the four electrodes 45 degrees or 4 electrodes 90 degrees work on. So I'll be just removing this. Yes. Yes, so now as explained earlier that low back pain, I have just shown you the how does the intersection works now. Now I will be explaining you how does the low back pain, if the patient complains of low back pain and radiating towards his left or right or bilateral what we say bilateral limbs. Yes, so we can always use if I can zoom it closer to me. So what I have done one channel 1, if you remember, black color, and channel 2 red color. I put it over both the somewhere around L5 S1 region pain. So if the patient complains of radiating pain towards both the buttocks, so what I am supposed to do, I'll be putting channel 2 one electrodes over to opposite to it and channel 2 over this way. Yes, so this would be my position for bilateral. If the patient says that he or she is complaining of pain over just radiating towards the posterior aspect of the left leg, so what I am supposed to do, if you can see black and red over here, so I am supposed to cross it like this and place it over this way. I can always use these kinds of strap to strap it around the treatment area and fix the electrodes. Yes, so I am not supposed to, just for demonstration purposes, I am fixing it above the cloth. Yes, I am fixing it just above the trouser, but basically you need to expose the treatment area, and then you need to put on your electrodes. So just for demonstrative purposes, I have just not uplifted this trouser to the knee level. So again, if the patient complains of pain over his ankle, so you can always use this way. So red is diagonally opposite to this and black is towards this way. So and I can always use these kinds of straps to fix it out. So this is as simple as it looks like. We can always use the same kind of placements for the cervical regions. Yes, cervical regions. I can always place it like this way, channel 1, both black and red. If the pain is radiating towards the right shoulder or right upper extremity, I can always, the preferable position is always sitting position. I will show you in the sitting position. But again, the right one, you will see that this, because this will change the plane position. So the basic position will always be in sitting position. So I will show it in the sitting position later on. But you can always put it like this if it is paining. Yes, so we always need to take care that in 4-pole methods, the intersection is very much important. So as we know that the cervical placement, so for example, if the patient complains of cervical pain or the upper trapezius pain which radiates to the right upper extremity, so you can see one channel, channel 1 electrode black over here, channel 2 red electrodes 1 over here. So I am basically crossing this onto this aspect. So this is basically very important because the plane changes. You cannot have it like this, even right onto this way and left onto this way. But if the patient complains of pain which can radiate over to the wrist, it is very simple. Yes, okay, so you can always put it over this way, electrodes. Now the second one was like two electrodes or two pole method. So in that two pole method, you are just supposed to do, if the patient complains of specific localized pain over the upper trapezius region, just use channel 1. That's it. You are just supposed to use channel 1. Yes, and select the appropriate program number based upon the frequency, based upon the waveform you want. Yes, so this is how the basic placement looks like. I will now next I will show you the testing of the machine. Okay. Okay, so basically before you give and administer a treatment, you always need to check the equipment whether it is working or not. So this could have been the first part of our practical demonstration, but anyways, I will be taking it at the end now. So I will be explaining how the machine is being tested. So you can see I have fixed my 4 electrodes, my 2 channels very well, and I have had equal amount of gel on my rubber electrodes. I have switched on my machine. Now I am just left with my uh, treatment parameters need to be set. Before we start on by testing of the equipment, please make sure that you are not wearing any of the metal over your hand. Even on the testing, you need to put your hand over this like this. Okay, and then after, okay, so now slowly and gradually you need to increase the intensity. So once you increase the intensity, you will feel the tingling and numbness, tingling kind of sensations over your hands on 4 of your electrodes. So if you are feeling tingling kind of sensations over your hand, this means the machine is working on, and then you need to switch it off. So I hope I have cleared the practical information about medium frequency currents, IFT. The take home message from this practical sessions are like IFT can be administered by basically into broad divisions by 2 patterns, 2 pole electrodes and 4 pole electrodes. 4 pole electrodes are further divided into 4 pole constant, 4 pole 45 and 4 pole 90 degrees. 45 and 90 degrees are your vector methods, where the intensity changes into the vector and having a clove leaf of appearance. Yes, so when you have a patient complaining of pain over a specific point like your elbow pains or your wrist pains or over a shoulder pain and a knee pain which has specific locations, you can use 2 pole methods or you can use 4 pole constant method. But when there is a radiating pain, we should always prefer 4 pole 45 degrees method or 4 pole 90 degrees, and based upon your base and spectrum you can always change whether you want this analgesic effects or the lymphatic effect or the muscle re-education effect of the IFT machine. And one more thing is, please never ever remember program numbers of a specific machine. They are okay for your examination purposes, but the program numbers changes as per manufacturer to manufacturer. So always remember the parameters like 4 pole 45 degrees, 4 pole 90 degrees, base, spectrum, waveforms like triangular, trapezoid and rectangular. So you can always have the treatment protocol in that way. So I hope I have cleared the almost each and every part of the practical sessions for IFT, for electrotherapy 1 and 2. If you have any doubts, you can always comment below into the comment box. Thank you.